Hello everyone, Hachadino over here, and today we are again in the 11.1 PTR. We are going to talk about some changes and some bugs that we have. If you were not attent enough, you may not have seen what changed on the last patch that I did. Basically, they changed some trigger conditions also on the tier set. Now, it's not going to proc for auto attacks or from rupture ticks, but it's going to proc from all of our abilities. It has not changed that it has RPPM. So what happened before is that maybe you had a rupture on some mods and you had to do a mechanic or something and you could get stacks. Now not anymore. Same thing if you were just using your auto attacks and not using backstab or whatever. You were also not getting stacks. We're getting stacks, sorry. And now that's not happening anymore. It doesn't change anything about the tier set, so you can shelve that one. It's on the data mine thingies, but not on any nodes, so you won't see on the Blizzard nodes. Now, as for things that are really annoying, there's a bug right now with Secret Technique where what happens is, well, there's also a funny bug with the tier set that it's 730 instead of 678. And what happens basically is that your tier set increases the damage of your finishers by 30% and also your shadow damage by 60%. Now, what happens with Secret Technique? It is one of the finishers that if you are outside dance can reset your stacks from 10 to 0 or from whichever stack you have to 0. What is happening right now is that even if you are inside dance, you yourself are not losing the 10 stacks that you have, but your copies might. What does this mean? As you might expect, getting a 30% finisher damage increase and then also another 60 on top of that. It's not precisely 90%. As you know, that's not how multiplicative things works on increases of damage, but let's say it's 80 something, okay? And basically what is happening is that one of your hits can lose that buff, the first or the second, and do a lot less damage. So if you are in cooldowns and you are using a secret technique, for example, let's say you are using the cold blood secret technique, that's your second secret technique now on cooldowns. When I do the full guide, I will explain why we use that, but just believe me. And you hit, for example, 17 million secret technique. That's something that can happen right now in the PTR with the gear that we have. And then the second one, it's 34 or 33 million. And you say, why is that happening? It's because the first copy lost the buff before it could do the damage itself and did the secret technique hit with 0 stacks. The second one didn't, so it didn't roll the 15%, and it did the correct damage. Now, this is super annoying, of course, because as you might expect, losing almost double damage on one of your secret technique hits is a huge hit. So let's hope they fix that one and do some other fixing. Maybe the mark block is also not fixed. If you didn't know, is that when you proc Darkest Night, you can't pop marks. So if you use a Shadow Strike, you will get your 3 marks. But if you use, for example, Secret Technique or Black Powder, you are not going to pop the mark to go from 3 to 2 until you use Darkest Night. Now, the other bug that is also there is that Shadowed Finishers doesn't work with Darkest Night or with the tier set at all. So you are not getting that 30% increase or that 60% increase on your Shadowed Finishers. That is everything. There are also a video I'm going to do about the new simulation things. There, it's an initial implementation, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about that on the next one. For now, I will see you on the next video.